This video is going to be a power leveling guide for Hunter mains, as I believe that class needs the most help amongst all three in Edge of Fate. It's Hunter mains that are struggling the most with their speedruns on their missions to get powerful and pinnacle and prime rewards. So this video is dedicated to our Hunter mains, our brothers and sisters, you know, our Assassin's Creed loyalists. I don't know why you love Hunters so much. I had a look at the data, and in Edge of Fate, there's more Hunters than any other class, and I always think, why though, man? It's so Assassin's Creed 2007, man. I think that's what yous are. That's why yous love Hunters. Because there's definitely not the strongest class. They've got a lot of good stuff in their kit, but they're not the strongest class. No way. I think it's just because yous like Assassin's Creed. Tell me why you like Hunters so much, because I don't really understand it. Hunters are fine, they're good, they look cool with the cloak, but anyways, let's help those players out. This video can be used at any power level at all, in actual fact. You can apply a lot of my methodology to anything at all, above 200 power at least. If you're below 200 power, you should be running the campaign twice to get 100 levels gained each time you do it. That gets you to 200. In theory, on paper, from 200 to 450, you can just run solo ops. However, that is recommended that you sometimes run pinnacle ops, because there might be mint retrograde as a focus. There's other reasons, but do farm more in a fire team for pinnacle ops rather than solo. But this is a solo farm, and it's regarding solo ops. The farm I'm about to show you will be protected by daily reset, and this means this farm is up every time. It's up the entire week. This will not change unless Bungie removes this solo ops. Then it will change, but I don't think they will remove it. And this is regarding the solo ops creation. Now, why the hell am I running creation? I'm going to tell you why. Number one, K1 Logistics is technically the best farm in the game on hive rotation, because you can choose the boss. However, if a activity has bonus rewards as distorted solstice engram, you get bumped on prime engrams. They don't drop the same drop rates. I have tested this and they're not dropping as much. The featured solo ops that has distorted solstice engram is no good for prime power leveling. It's only good for tier 5 farm. You need to separate two farms here. You need to separate your tier 5 farming separate to your power leveling farming. Power leveling farming and solstice farming are two different entire things, because the bonus rewards seems to be interfering with the prime buff. Please, can you take my advice? Don't label me as a villain. I'm just trying to tell you and save you time in the long run. If you just want to focus power leveling, ignore K1 today and do a different one. Unless tier 5 armor is your goal, then alright, you go for K1. But Solstice is 2 weeks, everybody. You don't need to farm tier 5 armor this week. You can farm it next week. My goal is to get to 440 or even 450 for next week, and then I'll do my tier 5 farm. I'll really dial in and lock in for it. But in the meantime, I need to power level. So I'm not doing K1. I know it's screwing me up. So you've got Salt Mines, no. Conflux, worst solo ops. You've got Skywatch is a great little farm. It's a 4 to 5 minute farm. It's all right. Caldera is a 4 to 5 minute farm, sometimes 3 minutes. If the fallen enemies are up on Caldera, it is. But let's be real. On a psychological level, if you run more Caldera, I've already run probably 500 or 600 lost seconds. Actually, I might be overballing it. I've probably ran 300 Calderas in my time with Edge of Fate, and I'm starting to lose my mind with it a little bit. I'm starting to see matter spark in my dreams and stuff like this. There's a little bit of a nightmare where I'm running down a hill and there's a massive matter spark ball chasing me. So I'm a little bit, I'm worried for my well-being with this. So I need to swap to solo ops creation, and you can really speedrun creation. Creation's a better farm. The reason being is because the farm is more chill. There's less objectives to do. What I mean by that is there's always the same or similar type of objective. It just says combatants defeat. Whereas the other solo ops, they have different types of objectives, precision kills and all this lot. Creation doesn't have any of that. The objectives are easier. The plates are chill. You just do the objective while you cap the plate. And this is just a good 4 to 4.5 minute farm on Hunters. Good going. And I haven't got the best build on yet. So yeah, creation is what I recommend. This farm will stay up every reset because there's only one rotation, and that's Vex. Caldera has fallen and Vex. K1 has fallen and Hive. Salt Mines has Taken and Dread or something daft. Yeah, I think Conflux has something different. Skywatch has Hive and Fallen or whatever. Creation is simple down the line. Right, card. You must get your cards in line, please. I got a tier 5 prime engram at 432 today on a B plus card. I have the evidence. Courts in session. I have video empirical evidence to tell you I got a tier 5 on a B plus card. Stop worrying about A rank. You are losing power levels thinking about A rank. Stop it. Just really, you need B plus and you want to speedrun B plus. That is the goal. A B plus might turn into an A, but if it doesn't matter. It's going to go against your prime drop rate buff, which I'm going to explain in a minute. Here's the required score for A rank. Here's the forecast. Here, you can check it in advance. This is screen. You need to look at this screen. What I will tell you is, on A rank, you do get more Ascended Shards. That is one thing I've noticed about A rank. On Gold 3, you do get more shards, but we've got loads of shards. We're all right. You do get shards on B on this as well, to be honest. That's just a thing I've noticed. Right. So, if you run all Edge of Fate base gear, you will get a prime buff drop rate enhanced over the generic 1 in 20 drop rate chance. Above 400 power, you need to farm prime engrams. These are your main sources of going up in power level. A lot of you are going to get a shock when you get to 400 power. You're going to be like, how the hell am I leveling up? Well, you need to listen to this video and you will level up. Stop using exotic class items. They are not Edge of Fate based. Stop using Slammer. Stop using Galahorn. Stop using anything that is not a blue ribbon weapon or armor piece. You must use this stuff. You will get an enhanced drop rate to primes. I have been tracking my prime drop rate over the last 3 days, and I have gotten 16 prime engrams in 3 days, and I'm due to get another 4 today. I've worked it out. I'm going to get another 4 primes. That'll be 20 primes in 3 days. Do you understand that last week I was running old gear like Symphoseps and stuff like that, and I was getting 2 primes a day? I'm now down to I'm now up to 6, 7, even 8 primes a day, man. It's a huge buff. Over the course of your solo career in Edge of Fate, you know something. You know what I think it is. I'm going to tell you now what it is because I've just had a little bit of a thought there. What I think it is, it's score. It's cumulative. I think maybe after a certain amount of threshold is gathered up in the portal, say it's maybe 10 million. So we're getting nearly 1 million score here if we get A rank, right? I think there's something in the background where if you get 1 million score tallied up total, you then get the prime. I think it's something based on score because your Edge of Fate gear does give you that buff. And it also buffs and matters if you run an Edge of Fate exotic and a weapon and an Edge of Fate exotic armor piece. So lock in now, people. Stop using non-Edge of Fate based stuff. You must stop using exotic class items. Hunters, stop it. I know you're using it. Stop. Inmost Light is amazing, but just don't use it. Can you get away without it for a few days? I'm sure you can. Well, it won't be a few days. It'll probably be 2 weeks. But I mean, get away without it. Your goal is level, man. It's not having fun. It's leveling. You need to level and get to that 450 mark. And if you want to, then this is what you do. If you want to wait till Ashen Iron, then do that. But anyways, if you run Edge of Fate exotic weapon and armor piece, you're going to find that your drop rates are like this. Very rare, you can get a 1 in 5 drop rate chance on prime buff. The next level up I've noticed is 1 in 8 drop chance. I've had that 5, 6, 7 times. Sometimes 3 primes back to back on a 1 in 8 drop chance. Then it goes 1 in 12 sometimes. Then it might creep up to 1 in 16, 1 in 17, and then it goes to 1 in 20. Here and there, sometimes the prime buff will revert back to 1 in 20 when you've had a lot of primes on one character. The game will say, no, We're not giving you any more primes. You've had enough. You'll go back to 1 in 20, sometimes 1 in 25. When you get back to a 1 in 20 drop rate chance on portal clear, it's recommended that you change character or wait for a reset, because when reset happens, that 1 in 8 drop chance comes back in the game. There's some sort of daily refresh going on as well with this. It's not just a case of, well, primes are primes, drop rates are drop rates. No, there's a lot of nuances to this, and it's a very complicated system. I think Bungie should have just put this in the game and said, this is how you get prime buff. I know Guardian rank affects it. I know this affects it. I know that all these other little things. Clan rank, I'm not clan rank. What's my clan rank? I haven't got it. Level 4 has nothing to do with this. Although, yeah, nothing to do with it. Clan rank's probably not even working level 4, because I'm getting more primes than some other people that are level 4 clan rank. So I've disregarded it as well. So yeah, you need to run Edge of Fate based stuff. My build, anyways. Silk Strike, Marksman's Dodge, Threaded Spike, Grapple, Threaded Spike, Ascension, Fragments R, Facet Ruin, Protection, Hope, Dawn, Purpose. The mods, Shield Crush, Radiant Shrapnel, Threaded Blast, Elemental Daze, Fever and Chill, Diviner's Discount, and Tightly Woven. I've obviously got Barrier on as well. This will give you infinite heavy, so the card mod, which I haven't had a chance to go into, make sure that it's a B+. I put on difficult void threat. It's very simple. It gives me what I want, and I also put on fired up for infinite solar heavy weapon ammo, which I get that via Polaris Lance and my solar machine gun to get fired up. Class healing's quite nice on a hunter. So I'm using a Gifted Ascension build for now. I haven't got the stats for Grapple Melee build yet. I'll run that build when we get closer to 450. For now, I'm committing to Gifted Conviction all the way to 450. I recommend that you also commit to a Edge of Fate build until 450 as well. Just commit and lock in. Don't be swapping your exotics about and doing this and doing that and running Inmost Light Cryo. Don't be doing it. You're hurting your gains if you do. But yeah, weapons, like I say, we're using Retrograde, Polaris, Machine Guns, Infinite Heavy. Don't use Slammer, again, because it's not Edge of Fate. It needs to be Edge of Fate based. But yeah, that was the information on this. Okay, so here's the relaxed hunter power level and farm creation, 4 to 4.5 minutes, depending on how fast you go. So we want to get on this plate immediately, and our goal is to generate a bit of special ammo. Now check special ammo counter, look at how quickly it's going up. Bear in mind, I've got Strand Scav on, which does increase the special ammo generation progress bar. I believe that's what it does. And using exotic primary does as well. So look, I get a brick there so I can pre-plan. 9 shots isn't enough. You want 1 brick minimum and then you're good. Now what you want to do is just keep killing the ads. Now the ghost tech does apparently not work on this, so I apologise about that, but it does work on Inside Terminus, and if you know me, you'll know just before Edge of Fate I was running solo GMs on Inside Terminus, and Ghost Tech did work on that plate. I figured or assumed that it would work on this plate as well. Score me if you want, but to be honest, I've already been scolded by that. That's fine, you know. So keep capping the plate. Your goal is super and special ammo, like I said. So I'm just about going to get my super. Make sure you're rocking a high super stat, at least 100. You need at least 100 to your super for this. If you've got more, you've got more. That's great. Right, pop an Ascension for amplified buff. Plate's going to be about to be capped, and I'm going to pop a super here to speed the run up. I don't need my super for anything at the minute, so I'm just going to use it and grapple. Don't worry, we're going to get our supers back for times when we do need it. So here's the skips. Here's what we're going to do. This is why you need retrograde ammo. You need the retrograde ammo to ensure that this bit is fast, because you do lose a lot of time on this bit. So first one there, we get rid of our super. So now what I'm going to do is make my way on the right hand side and shoot the oracles in this order. Just keep running through, pop your amplified. This will stop the ads from sniping you or less likely to hit you, and you can run through. And this is it. Retrograde can just one-shot the diamonds like this. And you've got plenty of ammo because we farmed a special brick on the first cap plate. Very easy farm this. In my opinion, probably easier than Caldera because there's less to it this actually. It's very relaxed. And if you're sick of Caldera, then I think you should be doing this. Don't do K1. If the Solstice engram is up and your concern is prime buff, please don't do K1 logistics. That's only for tier 5 Solstice farms. If you need prime drops, then do a different one. Skywatch, Creation, they can all be done in 4 minutes. The ones I've mentioned to you. And obviously Caldera can as well. Caldera can be done in 3 minutes on the Fallen rotation. That's if it's up. So we've shot all the diamonds. We've got our speed booster. That's why I've got this Gifted Conviction build on. Because it speed runs through the missions quick. No doubt, Grapple Melee build does as well. I haven't got the stats for it yet. Just hang fire, man. We're all in the process of farming armor up. And including me. I've got to farm it up. You can't just say, oh, we'll run this build. No, you can't. I have to farm that up first. Right. All damage with the Mint Retrograde. Send the boss as immediately as possible. Plate will immediately spawn in. And your next goal is super. Again, this is why you run a tier 100 super stat when playing solo. It's paramount. Every single build that you play should have at least tier 100 super. Everything. Everything at all. When you're solo, it's definitely dead important because that 190% ability regen is huge. If you get an overload push, pop Ascension, that stuns him. If it's a barrier, then kill him with your scout or your pulse. Up to you. Look at this. Sync plate capped 60%. Super is 80, 90%. Look at that. And we're just going to get our super in time to quickly melt the boss. And that's basically going to be the farm. And you will see, I get a tier 5 sword, prime drop, at a +3 power, and on a B+ card. So it's proof. This is all the proof that you could ever want, that you don't need to do A rank. You just don't need to. It's only at certain points when the game is saying, oh, you need to pump all these mods. At some occasions, you maybe do need to run a 40 power card. But there's only certain scenarios where that actually really does happen. Most time you run B+. Look, there's the prime. It's pink. That's how you know it's prime. It was a tier 5 drop. That was a solo farm for hunters on power leveling. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.